Hey guys, how are you? In this video we're going to talk about the Chinese city of Guangzhou. Guangzhou, which is also known as Canton, is the capital and the most populous city in the province of Guangdong in southern China. How did I get here? I took a fast train from Hong Kong, and an hour later I was in Guangzhou. The contrast between the two places was obvious. I had no local cash and they did not accept Visa or MasterCard, so my first challenge was to find an exchange place. Locals use WeChat payment systems and UnionPay. WeChat is a messenger and you can install it on your phone of course, but unless you have a Chinese bank account you won't be able to use it for payments. To make matters even more complicated, most people did not speak English, even at the train terminal. Guangzhou has a history of over 2,200 years, and it has been a springboard for trading, cultural exchanges, many revolutions and reforms. It's located on the Pearl River, about 120 kilometers northwest of Hong Kong and 145 kilometers north of Macau. It's at the heart of one of the largest urban agglomerations on planet Earth, the Pearl River Delta Economic Zone. 50 million people. In 2018, the population of the city was 14.9 million. Guangzhou is best known for its annual Canton Fair, the oldest and largest trade fair in China. It's held every year in April and October. Guangzhou is the main manufacturing hub of the Pearl River Delta. In 2017, the GDP reached $318 billion. This is similar to that of Miami, Singapore, and Toronto. If you want to import something from China, this is probably the place to start. I visited a couple of those wholesale malls, and I was impressed. Sure, you can get low-quality, cheap stuff. That's what most of us think about when we see Made in China sign. But they also have a good choice of nice, unique goods like these lamps. But prices wouldn't be so low in this case. Look at all these toys. All of them will end up in your countries eventually, but you can get them here for a fraction of the price.
So it looks like it's gravitating. It's actually on a magnet. It's really impressive. The earth is shaking, guys. What's going on? Just glimpse of your store.
Guangzhou is considered one of the most prosperous cities in China. At the same time, owing to rapid industrialization, it's considered to be one of the most polluted cities.
We're in some central part. You see a lot of skyscraper and a beautiful river. It's actually pretty peaceful. It's not like chaotic, like people just running around. There's a lot of people riding bikes, which is good. But like they say, there's a lot of pollution, and one of those skyscrapers in the distance you can hardly see because of the smog. Well, it's one of the most industrial cities on Earth, so no surprise.
But the city goes to great lengths to make it greener. You see lots and lots of bicycles and electric scooters everywhere. In 2006, Guangzhou had the largest number of LPG-fueled vehicles in the world. Also that same year, the municipal government banned motorcycles. It's one of the most livable cities in China, and it has a great climate. A humid subtropical climate influenced by the East Asian monsoon. Summers are wet with high temperatures and high humidity, and winters are mild and comparatively dry.
So I had no expectations, no idea what Guangzhou would look like. And maybe it's just the central part, but it looks really beautiful and livable. I mean, beautiful parks, not too many cars, not at all. A lot of people are riding bikes. We'll get to see more, and we'll get the more comprehensive idea of what Guangzhou is really like. Let's do it.
A major reason to visit the city is the cuisine. Guangzhou has the country's largest number of restaurants per capita. Here you can try the authentic taste of sweet and sour pork, wonton soup, and dim sum.
Sometimes ordering food is just like guesswork. How do you know what's inside? You know, maybe fish, maybe chicken, maybe it's spicy, maybe it's not. So I ordered this one, and this is what I got. The portions are huge, you know.
So when you order something in China, just remember that it might come out a lot bigger than you expected. So I ordered spicy fish soup. And this is what it came out to be. Like, it's good for 4 people, not just me, you know.
Most Chinese food served in Western countries is actually Cantonese food. Cantonese people would eat absolutely anything. Liver, kidneys, heart, brain, you name it. There's a joke that Cantonese people eat anything that has 4 legs other than a table, anything that flies other than an airplane, and anything that swims other than a submarine. So they have a very broad definition of what is considered edible. Almost all of the local people speak Cantonese as their first language, while most migrants speak Mandarin.
Oh. Ni hao. What's your name?
Hello.
Hello, what's your name?你叫什么名字?
Guangzhou has now a huge influx of migrants from other areas of China. Interestingly, marriage is one of the top 2 reasons for permanent migration. There's also a rapidly increasing number of foreign temporary workers and immigrants from Southeast Asia, the Middle East, Eastern Europe, and Africa. Did you know that Guangzhou is home to the largest African community in Asia? Migrants from Africa started arriving in Guangzhou in the late 1990s. Buying in bulk allowed many Africans to strike it rich back home. Many, though, decided to stay here longer, legally or illegally, until the government decided to put an end to that. They started frequent police raids, and 2011 Guangdong Act, which offered Chinese citizens rewards for reporting on foreigners with expired or forged documentation. As they say, China gives, China takes. Guangzhou was the 4th city in mainland China to have an underground railway system. Currently, the metro network is made up of 13 lines covering a total length of 476 kilometers. A long-term plan is to make the city's metro system expand to over 500 kilometers by 2020, with a total of 15 lines in operation. In addition to the metro system, there is also a tram line, which opened in 2014. While Guangzhou is not the first choice when it comes to vacation destinations, the city still has a lot of things to offer. If you want to explore the city, you might want to start with CBD, which stands for Central Business District. Here you'll find a lot of skyscrapers and plenty of food options. Guangzhou Opera House and Guangzhou Library. Huaqian Square, or Flower City Square, is the largest square in the city. Especially in the evening, the view of the Canton Tower, with all the lights decoration, is remarkable. Central Business District looks super modern, and they had a light show that night. You might want to visit Shamian Island. The name of the island literally means sandy surface in Chinese. This territory was divided into 2 concessions given to France and the United Kingdom by the Qing government in the 19th century. This island is a reminder of the colonial European period, with quiet pedestrian avenues flanked by trees and lined by historical buildings. Let's take a walk. There's a lot of socialist propaganda banners and slogans everywhere.
Do you guys want to know the core socialist values? Well, here they are for you.
They're rocking their red flags. And as someone growing up in Soviet Russia, this looked way too familiar. In 2019, they were celebrating 70 years of the People's Republic of China. Today, it's a strange combination of capitalism and communism. Starbucks is here, Walmart is here, Coca-Cola is here. And as long as you're not a threat to CCP rhetoric and agenda, you're okay to do business in China. But Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are not okay. Look, this is a little bit of capitalism for you. And this is a little bit of communism. You see these security guards on the streets with red ribbons on their arms everywhere. They're there to ensure public safety and order. Needless to say, there's millions of security cameras everywhere. Most people live in high-rise apartment buildings. Strangely enough, some of them have bars even on their balconies for some reason. Together with Shanghai, Beijing, and Shenzhen, Guangzhou has one of the most expensive real estate markets in China. There's a stereotype about the Chinese that they smoke a lot. Well, my impression is that most stereotypes are true, and so is this one. I only had 2 days in the city, so there was no way that I would be able to visit everything. But hopefully this is enough to give you an impression of this huge Chinese city. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and let me know what you think about Guangzhou. 谢谢，再见。
Where you from? Where you from? Where are you from? Oh, very nice. 谢谢。
走路来的。